Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Louise Nichols. I'm a textile artist and I live here in Cornwall. And today I'm really excited about starting to add some felt to the prints. So this is part, are we on part 4? Oh gosh, I can't remember. Whatever the part is of designing a kit from scratch. And all the prints are dry now, so I'm really looking forward to going through these and adding the felt. So I'm going to start doing that now. Okay, so these are all the prints that I did the other day, and I've just grouped them into winter, autumn, summer and spring. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through them and I'm going to cut out the ones that I want to work on. I'm going to sort of choose the colours. There are slight variations in some of the colours, and so I'm just going to choose the ones that I want to work on. So the next job now is to start choosing my felt. I'm going to start with spring, so I'll pop those aside because they're the colourways that I've chosen. Start with spring, and I'm going to get my big basket of felt. So I knew I'd got this piece of green over on the other side of the studio. Right, okay, so I'm going to look at colours. So I'm wanting sort of spring greens. I don't really want any greys. I'd got in my head that maybe something sort of a little bit lilac-y might be nice with this. So all I'm doing now is I'm just pulling out some of the colours that I think might work for this. Now that's a bit bright for me, but we'll pull it out anyway. I think that's the same as one I've already got. Have I got that one out? In fact, there's a yellowy, although that might be a bit, yeah, a bit too autumny. That one I can see on the top there. There's another bit of yellow there. Let's keep going through the pile. I think that one is a little bit too olivey. There's quite a few greens in here, but I don't want to go too dark. I want it to feel fresh and sort of not hot, not like summer fresh, if you see what I mean. Okay, I'm just going to put these on the floor just so they're out of the way. So now what I do is I'll sort of lay these at the side and see which ones I think work best. That's definitely too bright, so I'm going to get rid of that one already. And that one, I don't know if that's a little bit too, what's the word? A bit dull. I don't know. I like that one very much. Okay, so I can see, I think this green here is too similar to what I've got on here. So I'm going to pop that there. Quite like that. I definitely like that green there. Do you know, I do like that. It sort of gives it a freshness, because although spring is bright, it can also, it's not always that warm, is it? So that may well be a contender. I think that colour, that's the same as that one. So let's get rid of that one. And then this sort of lilac-y, I do like that with it. But it may be that I bring the colour in with a thread rather than a piece of felt. I don't tend to use more than 4 colours of felt on a print, quite often only 2 or 3. So I'm really looking to break this down into smaller colour choices, really. Okay, right, I'm going to get rid of that one, I think. Yeah, I'm liking that yellow. I don't know about that. So I think I'm quite liking those 3 all together there. That still feels quite fresh. And as I say, it might be that, let me just get, I've got a couple of threads here. You know, it may be that I bring, see, I like that as well. It may be that I bring that kind of lilac-y colour in with a thread like that. So just pop those to the side. So I'm going to bring you overhead now so that you can see me starting to cut out the felt. I'm going to just pop these bits aside for now. And we'll go overhead while I'm working out where I want those bits of felt to go. So here we go. Start cutting some bits of felt out. And I must apologise as well, because in the last video I forgot to lock my screen, so it was kind of doing a bit of this, wasn't it? Sorry. Okay, so I know I want to have some sort of a strip of felt at the bottom here. And I know I want to have green leaves. I don't want either of these colours as leaves, because to me that's almost kind of going into the autumn colours. So, and I'm thinking that if I'm having green leaves here, I might, and I think I want this hill here to be green as well, so I don't necessarily want green here. So I'm actually thinking that the bottom of the hill might be quite nice in that yellow. That will give it quite a nice lift. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to cut myself a strip of felt. So I want it to go along the bottom here, but I'm going to cut it into sections so it fits into these shapes here. I don't want to see this stripe. So it's probably about that sort of width there. Let's have a keep going. So I'm just going to go to the end. If there's any left, it will get used anyway. Okay. So yeah, I think that's about the right depth. Excuse me. So I want to cut it to fit in that hill there, so I'm going to snip there so that fits there. And then where each of these stems, the stem comes down here, I want it to sit either side of that, so I'm going to cut those bits like that, and then when we get to here, I want that slope again there. Okay, yeah, I'm liking that. So before I do anything else, I'm going to cut the leaves for this as well, because I want to get some of that green in. Excuse me, got a bit of a frog in my throat. Okay, so I'm going to cut one leaf. You probably can't see that, can you? I think I was a bit out of shot there. Get rid of those bits. And that's about the right size, so I'm going to use that to cut around. For the other two, I'm not going to do all 5 leaves. I want to do the middle one and then the 2 outside ones. So let's cut another one. Yeah, nice. Okay. And as I say, I think I want to have some of this, but I don't really like doing things evenly, so I wouldn't sort of fill the 3 gaps or the 2 gaps. It might be that I fill 1 gap. So what I'm going to do is to find a straight edge. I'm going to cut a strip of this green. Let me move this over and then you can bring this in a little bit more. I'm just going to cut a strip of that. Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to work, so I think what I'll do is just leave that there so I can see that there's going to be some green in that bottom corner. So that will help me sort of balance it out elsewhere. And I think because there's some in that bottom corner, I probably need a little bit of weight in this corner here as well. So I think I'm going to cut a little bit more and just pop a bit there again so I can see. I'm not sure whether I'll have it, I might cover that. I'm going to see, but I'm just going to leave it there again just so I can, I'm now beginning to build up a picture, a composition, and I want it to balance nicely. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'm going to start bringing in some of that third colour now as well, because again, it's all important. I always get the felt on first because it does make a big picture it does make a big difference to the overall layout. So let's get some of that other colour in. So I'm thinking I want to bring some in over here. So I think I'm going to cut a circle that's going to go into that tree there. Now, I don't know if you've seen how I cut my circles. So I cut myself a square that's roughly the same sort of size that I want. That might be a little bit big actually, so I'll trim a little bit off there. And then I'm just going to trim the corners off. Oh, I think that was probably out of shot, wasn't it? I if I want it a little bit smaller, I'm going to trim a little bit off that. I do want it a little bit smaller. I want to be able to see a bit more of the green, I think. So I'll just go around the inside edge of this. Sometimes the problem with that is you kind of get to where you think is the end, don't you? And then you realise you've got another bit that needs trimming off. Yeah, that's better. And then another bit that needs trimming off. Okay. I don't think I want it too dark up here, so I think I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to do the wings of the bird. So I'm thinking not green, so probably this colour here, and then the yellow at the top. Then we've not got too much yellow here. Again, I'm trying to sort of balance it out. So let me cut myself a little wing. So I only need a little bit of this felt here. So, and I'm sort of looking at, let me just trim a bit off there. I'm sort of looking at this sort of shape, aren't I, coming down? So might need to trim it down. It does look a little bit big. Yeah, let's cut a little bit off there. That way. Oh, like fuzzy felt, isn't it? Making a picture. Yeah, I like that there. So I'm going to do the other one in yellow. So again, now that I've cut one, I'm just going to use that as a template to cut another one. Okay, now do I need any more felt anywhere else? I might want a little bit more over here to bring this sort of colour over to this side as well. So I'm going to cut another little strip there because it might be that I do a stripe there as well. That will do for now. Now, if that's there, do I bring it down like that? No, I think I need a little bit of breathing space in between. If I'm going to have both of those there, I need to have a bit of breathing space between the two. I don't think I want a very wide, I don't think I want the gap that wide, but maybe sort of that sort of width there. I'm going to stitch into these. I don't want felt on there. And I think I'm going to cut another bit there to go into that stripe there. I feel I need a little bit more on here. I don't really want to do this background bit. Maybe a strip going down like that. Right, decisions. Let's bring a bit more of this green felt in. I don't think that's going to be enough. If I snip that there, I just need to curve it a little bit. No, not going to be quite big enough. All these other little bits that are left over though do get used. there, I think. Yeah, right, okay, let's snip that to fit. And a bit off the bottom there. There we go. I'm not sure about up here. So what I think I'm going to do, let me just trim that so it fits that curve. In fact, it's a little bit wide, isn't it? I'm just going to trim a little bit off there as well. Yeah, okay. I think that's a little bit deep, so I'm going to take a bit off there. Yeah, that's better. So I want it to sit on this bottom edge here, but I'm going to just snip that corner off so it fits in with the hill, like that. And then the edge is there, so let's trim it down there so that fits in there now. Yeah, and I do like that. I do like that colour in there as well. So let's just straighten that edge there and snip that so it fits in there as well. Okay. I think I was off screen when I cut that circle, so I'll do another one with one of the other prints as well, so you can just see how I did that. So I think, because I'm not sure about this, what I will do next is I need to back the print with my lightweight interfacing. So I'm going to take all these bits off, back it with interfacing, and then I'll stick them all down with my Pritt stick. So I'm going to do that now. There we go then. Excuse me again. So that's all stuck down with my Pritt stick. And the next thing I'll do now is start sorting out some threads that will go with those colours. So I'm just going to go over and I don't know if you could hear that. I was talking without my microphone back on. Okay, so everything's all stuck down now. So the next thing is to start choosing threads. So I've got these two that I'd already picked up. So I'm just going to go and get some of my threads out of my drawer. I might have to take my microphone off again, actually. Back in a minute. Right, okay, I'm back. So I've got, these are all my size 8 threads, so these tend to be the colours that I'll start with, because I know I'll probably stitch around the outside of the felt using my cream thread that I use on most of my work, so I'm not thinking about what colour I'll need for that. And then the next stage is I tend to put the couch stitch in next. So, and for that I use my size 8. So I'm going to sort of be looking at, again, I think that's a little bit similar, sort of spring sort of greens. That's quite a nice one. Got this one on the side as well. I like that one there. And that's nice, isn't it? That one as well. And yeah, that, yeah, I like that as well. Olive green. So I don't know if you can see all these. I'm beginning to, and then I'm going to bring a bit, again, a bit bright for me, that one is. Some more purples, a little bit autumnal, that one. I think I'm going to stick to the more sort of goldy, mustardy colours. And then over here in my basket I've got this, although it's like a very deep purple, which I like very much. I use this one an awful lot on work. I'm liking how that works actually as well. So I've now got quite a selection of threads there. So what I will do is I'll put those all into my, actually not that one now, looking at it, it's a bit bluey. I'll get rid of that one. I'm going to put those all into, I've got a basket here, so I'll put them all into my basket like that, and then I will start to work on it. So the first thing I'll do is to stitch it all down. I'm not going to do that now, but I'll stitch that all down, and then I'll start to add and start to work with some of these colours, and I'll probably end up losing a couple, 2 or 3 of them. I won't use, like for example, I won't use both of those yellows. I wouldn't have thought, but you never know. Okay, so I'm going to do the summer one next, and I will show you how I cut out a circle. So I've done exactly the same thing for the summer one. Been through my felt, and these are the colours that I've picked out. I wanted this to feel, you know, like a hot summer's day with blue sky, you know, and the sun, and those sort of slightly darker, it's not in shot there, is it? That's slightly darker, richer green. And if I'd had my head screwed on, I would have, and got my brain in gear properly, I would have used, before I stuck the spring down, I could have used those as templates to cut out all of these. But anyway, I haven't done that, so I'll cut them out again. So I'm going to put you on fast forward actually while I do this one. I don't think you need to see me cutting it again, apart from before I do that, I will cut a circle. So let me just think how I'm going to balance these, because what I'll do is wherever, so if for example I choose for this to be the yellow, it won't be, because I don't want yellow leaves, I want green leaves. Probably that darker green actually, I like that on there. It's a little bit bluey, and this has got, if you watched the previous video, you saw that I added blue into this green. So yes, I definitely want green leaves. But wherever the green is on this one, whatever, so everything that's green on here, if I choose this green, which I think I'm going to go for these leaves, everything, so the stripes, the little bit at the bottom, that will also be that green. And whatever colour I choose to put at the bottom here will also go on this bird here. And the third colour will also be these bits here. So now I'm thinking, because I've got yellow on the base of here, I probably don't want yellow on the base of this one as well, because I want them to be quite different. So I'm thinking that this circle here, this and this and this bit here is going to be yellow. So I'm going to cut a circle from this yellow just to show you, and then I'll put the rest on fast forward. So I'm going to cut a square that's roughly the sort of size that I want. That's not too bad at all. And then all I do is trim off the corners. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to cut the rest of this out now. Okay. Right. Okay, so as you saw there, I changed from this blue. I think I was thinking blue, you know, sort of blue skies in the summer. But actually it made it feel quite a little bit too pale. I was because I was going for sort of hot summer, and that is definitely not a hot summer, is it? I felt the teal blue just brought a really nice bit of depth to it. Then I wasn't sure about whether I wanted this to be orange, but I think that's taking it too autumnal. So what I'll probably do is bring a little bit of orange in, but with a thread rather than a felt. But I'm really liking that now. I like the colours there. So what I will do with that, I might actually see if I can see if there's another colour, because there's quite a line going through that one. So I might swap this over. But before I stick these down, I'm going to do both the autumn and the winter ones and use these as templates. So I'm going to choose the felt and do exactly the same thing. And before I stick any of the felt down, they'll all have lightweight iron-on interfacing ironed onto the back, which will give them that stability before I start stitching. So there we go. That's all my colours chosen now. So we've got spring, the summer one, autumn. Oh, my favourite, winter. I absolutely love that. And this kind of bluey, sorry, you're wobbling a bit there, aren't you? This bluey grey. Oh, so it might be that as I'm stitching them, I may even change my mind at it. I've done that before. I might start stitching and I think, actually, no, this is the wrong colour for here, and I might change the colour of the felt. But for now, this is what I'm going to go with. This was the trickiest, actually, the autumn one. I'd started off with this sort of, I don't know if you can see the difference in it there. It's like a coppery brown. So I started off with that, but then decided that this sort of deep red actually worked better. Then I wasn't sure about where all this kind of straw colour is, whether it needed to be this yellow. Started cutting all the bits out, but then it just looked a little bit overpowered by the yellow, because there's quite a bit of that colour. So I thought, actually, I'll probably bring the colour in with the thread, some more sort of ochre colours, and I'm really pleased with how that's worked now. I'm not sure still about here. It may be that I have a little section in here or a run here, but I'm going to start stitching the spring one first before I make that decision. So that will be the next video, talking about, I'll choose all the threads as well, like I did with the spring one. I'll get an idea of colours and things, but then it will be, is that then part 5? I think it is, isn't it? It'll be part 5 then. And I will be talking about stitching. I won't necessarily be showing you all the stitches because we've done that in other videos, haven't we? But it will probably be more of a video where it's just sort of showing the process of how I'm working out where the stitches go, maybe something like that. Anyway, that's it for now then. So thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, tick the bell so you get notifications, and I'll see you next time.